Hello everyone, welcome back to Genius Knowledge Point, your one place for practical programming solutions for computer and IT students. I am making this video to provide practical knowledge to all students so that you can develop your own programs which will be helpful for your studies as well as career. In this video we will perform practical number 4 of Python programming, which is designed for Diploma Computer and IT students who are studying in K-Scheme and semester number 4. The topic in this video is use of conditional statements like if statement, if else statement and nested statement. So we have already seen this type of statements from C programming, C++ programming till Java programming. So the same meaning will be applied here. So whenever we are considering if statement, that means we are checking particular condition inside if statement, and if the condition is true, it will execute the statement code that is inside if. Similarly, if else statement will be executing the condition, and if the condition is not matching, then it will be executing the else part. And similarly, if you have multiple conditions, then in that case we will be using nested if. So similarly, these statements will be executed here. So the same meaning will be applied here. So directly moving toward the first practical related questions. So first question is, write a program to check the largest number among the three numbers. So what we have to do, we have to accept three numbers from the user, and according to those numbers we have to identify which number is the largest among three numbers, and we have to print that. For that purpose we will be using if condition. So directly moving toward the code. So this is the code for largest of three numbers. So initially we have to accept three numbers from the user. So for that purpose I am taking first variable as num1 is equal to, using conversion, that is int function, then in that I am taking input function, and in that I am printing the message. So enter first number, that is the message, and that first number entered by the user will be converted to integer and stored into num1 variable. Similarly, num2 and num3s are accepted, so all the three numbers are accepted here. And next I am assigning one variable as largest number is equal to num1. What I am taking a single variable, that is largest number, and I am assigning num1 value to that largest number. So next, in the next statement I am using if condition now. So if num2 is greater than largest number, so in our case if num2 is greater than num1, so the largest number will become num2. So automatically the value from num2 will be stored into largest number if the num2 is greater than largest number. Again I am checking one more condition, that is if num3 is greater than largest number, so the largest number will become num3. So this is how, according to the inputs, whatever the number is having largest value, that will be stored into this variable, that is largest number variable. So finally our largest number is stored into this variable. So we just have to print the output. So printing the statement, the largest number is, and attaching the variable value. So this is how the largest number will be printed here and the output will be completed. So to run this program I am just copying the entire code, going to PyCharm. So I have already created one file, that is largest.py here. So I am just pasting the code inside this file. So to run this file, what I have to do, I have to just click on this run button. So after running the code, it is asking me to enter the first number. So I am entering 50 now, second number as 30, and entering third number as 60. So after entering all the three numbers, the output is generated, the largest number is 60. So according to our code, the largest number value is stored into this largest number variable, and that variable value is printed here. So this is how the first question is completed, that we have done using if condition only. So the question is complete here. Now the second question is, write a program to check if the input year is leap year or not. So we already know how to identify leap year. So whenever we have a year value, we have to divide that number with 4, and if the complete division is possible, that means a year is leap year. So this is how we will check whether the entered year is leap year or not. So directly moving toward the code. So initially we have to accept the year value from the user. So for that purpose I am taking year as a variable, then using int, and in that I am using input function and passing a message here, enter an year. So the message will be displayed on the screen, and the user will enter the year value. So that value will be accepted, and that value will be converted into integer and stored into year variable. Next we just have to use if else condition. So if year mod 4 is equal to 0, that means if the year value is completely divisible by 4, that means our year is leap year. So I am printing the message year is leap year, and if it is not completely divided, that means it will go to else part. So I am printing else part, that is print year is not leap year. So this is how a very simple program is this, and it will print whether an year is leap year or not. So to run this program I am just copying the code, going to PyCharm, creating new file here. So I am naming it as leap year, and pasting the code here. So to run this program I have to click on this run button. So it is asking you to enter an year value, so I am entering 2024. So after the value is accepted and output is generated, year is a leap year because 2024 is completely divisible by 4 and it is also a leap year. So the output is properly generated. I am running this program again to check with another value. So I am entering 2023. So it is printing year is not a leap year. So this is how our output is properly generated using if and else condition. So this is how the second question is also completed. Moving toward the third question, write a program to check if a number is positive, negative or 0. So we have to accept one number from the user, and that number we have to check using multiple conditions whether it is a positive number, negative number or 0. So directly moving toward the code. So initially we will be accepting a number. So for that purpose I am taking one variable, that is num is equal to int input, enter a number. So this is the message, and the entered number will be accepted into num variable. Then I am using if condition, that is if num is greater than 0. So that means if a number is positive, that means if we satisfy this condition the number will be positive. So that's why I am using this condition. In that I am printing the number is positive message. So this message will be printed. Then I am using elif statement. So this is similar to else if statement that we have seen in C and Java programming. So in Python programming, instead of else if we use elif statement. So elif num is less than 0. So whenever any number is less than 0, that means it is negative number. So I am printing the statement the number is negative. And finally if it is not greater than 0 and if it is not less than 0, that means it is equal to 0. So finally I am printing else statement, and in that I am printing the number is 0. So this is how, if the number is greater than 0, the positive will be printed. If it is less than 0, the negative will be printed, and otherwise it will be printed as a 0. So this is how the code is complete here. So copying the code, going to PyCharm, creating a new file. So just naming it as number, then pasting the code here and running the code. It is asking me to enter a number. I am just entering value as 60. So the output is generated, number is positive. Running the code again. Now this time I am entering minus 23. So the number is generated as negative. Then again running the code to check whether it is checking 0. So the output is printed as the number is 0. This is how the output is properly printed. We have done it using if, else if and else statement inside Python programming. So this is how this question is also completed. Now moving toward the fourth question, write a program that takes the marks of 5 subjects and displays the grades. So what we have to do here, we have to accept the marks of 5 subjects from the user, and according to those marks we have to display the grade of that student. So initially we will be accepting all the 5 subject marks using our variables, and then we have to calculate the average of those marks according to the 100 value, and using that average value we have to decide the grade of that student. So directly moving toward the code. So initially I am just printing a simple message, enter 5 subject marks inside a print statement. So it will be printed as a simple message. Then I am using mark1 variable is equal to int input enter marks of subject 1. So this message will be printed and the user will enter the marks of subject 1. That value will be accepted and that value will be stored in the form of integer into mark1 variable. Similarly, other marks variables are accepted. So mark 2, mark 3, mark 4 and mark 5. These are the variables for marks of 5 subjects. So finally I am calculating the total of those marks. So that is total marks is equal to addition of all the mark variable. Next I am calculating average marks is equal to total marks divided by 5, because we have to decide the grade of the student, and for that purpose we need average. So I am using this average marks variable and calculating the average. Then I am using multiple conditions here. So the first condition is if 90 is less than is equal to average marks less than is equal to 100. So if the average marks value is in between 90 to 100, that means I am printing the grade as a A plus. So if the average marks is range in between 90 to 100, I will print a grade A plus. Then I am using second statement as elif. So if this first condition is not satisfied, it will go to second condition, which is elif 80 less than is equal to average marks less than 90. So if the average marks are greater than or equal to 80 but less than 90, then I am printing grade as A only. Next I am moving to third condition, elif 70 less than is equal to average marks less than 80. So if the average marks are in between 70 to 80, then the grade will be B plus. Next I am going to next condition, else elif 60 less than is equal to average marks less than 70. So if the average marks are greater than or equal to 60 but less than 70, the grade will be printed as B. Then moving to next condition, elif 50 less than is equal to average marks less than 60. So the average marks are greater than or equal to 50 but less than 60, the grade will be C. Then moving to next condition, elif 40 less than or equal to average marks less than 50, then the grade will be printed as D. And finally, if all the values are not matched, that means if all the conditions are not matched, that means you have to print as a grade F. So that will be printed inside else part. So this is how the multiple conditions are checked here using elif. So this is how the coding is complete here. Then copying the entire code, going to PyCharm, then creating new file, naming it as grade, then pasting the entire code here, then running the code. So it is asking me to enter 5 subject marks that we have printed as a simple message. Then it is asking to enter marks of subject 1. So I am entering as a 50, then subject 2 marks as 60, then subject 3 marks as 78, subject 4 marks as 89, subject 5 marks as 65. So the grade is generated, which is as a grade B, because all the marks are in between 60 to 80. So according to average, the average will be of grade B. So this is how the output is generated here. According to multiple conditions, it has checked the value and the output is generated properly. So this is how the fourth question is also completed, and practical number 4 is also completed, which was regarding conditional statements, which we have already seen in C++ programming, C programming and Java programming. So the same concept is applied here. These statements are used for checking particular condition or multiple conditions, and according to that it will be displaying the output. So this is how this practical is ended here. So that's it for today's practical. I hope you understand the program clearly. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such programming solutions, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. If you have any doubts or need solutions for other programs, drop a comment below. I will be happy to help. Thanks for watching and happy coding.